My name's Adam Catron.
And I'm Seth Catron.
And we're with the Catron Property Group at FC Tucker. We are sitting in one of our newest listings here today and going to answer some questions, chat with you a little bit, just kind of tell you what it's into working with us and what you get, what it feels like, what it looks like,
Yeah.
all that kind of stuff.
Couch talk, I think.
Couch talk, that's a good,
Yeah.
yeah. So I got my license in 2011. Joined FC Tucker right away. It's funny because this was actually Seth's idea. We were driving in the car and he had the idea, hey, let's get into real estate. Let's do this together. So I signed up for the class. And a couple days before the class, I said, hey, you ready to go? And you go, I don't think I'm going to do it. So I went with Seth's idea, got into real estate, and then he took a little different route, getting into the auctioneering world.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know why I didn't jump right in with you. But I decided to go get my auctioneer's license. And so I was an auctioneer for a few years and then became a home inspector and did home inspections for a few years. And so I finally got into real estate 2019, right before the 2020 madness.
Perfect timing.
Yeah, I thought it was perfect timing. And actually it was. I think for me, it was the right move and perfect time for me to jump into real estate.
Well, what inspires me to be the best realtor and just to be the realtor for my clients, really I think I'm trying to change the narrative of a real estate agent. I think that we're in sales, right? I mean, real estate agents are salespeople. We sell houses. And I think that the idea of a salesperson in our society has kind of a negative connotation with it. You know, if you ever look at a salesperson on a cartoon, they got a greasy mustache and a suitcase full of papers, right? Like, I mean, just our society has got kind of this not so cool idea of a salesperson. Mm-hmm. And so since everybody looks at real estate agents as salespeople, I want to change that. I don't want people to think that, you know, we're just looking at people as a commission check. You know, I often will see other real estate agents in a social setting, and I call it commission breath. You can smell it from across the room. You know, they are not interested in that person. They're not interested in their lives. They're looking at them as a commission check. And so I think it's a big challenge to try to change that narrative, but that's kind of my hope. I want to come into people's lives and want to help them with their lives and help them with one of the biggest things they've got going on. And I don't like to look at people as just a commission check, because for me, I've always said this, I've said this in a lot of trainings and coaching agents, that real estate is really a service job, not a sales job. We're here to serve people, to listen to them and help them come up with a good game plan to get them to the next level. So that's what inspires me to really be the best that I can be, is to really just kind of change that narrative of a salesperson with our industry.
That's pretty good. Yeah. Yeah, I think for me, I feel like I've never really done a sales job, even though there's always been a little bit of sales involved with whatever I was doing. But what inspires me to be the best realtor that I can be is there's a lot of realtors in this town, a lot of them. And in any industry, there's always good ones and bad ones. And so I want to make sure that I'm in that top level, standing out above all the other agents that are out there, in hopes that I can kind of set an example for the newer agents that are coming in to the market. You know, it is a great industry, but I think you have to have the right expectation when you get into it. You know, 2020, houses were kind of selling themselves, and so we saw a lot of people get into the industry thinking that, you know, they just throw a house up on the market and make a check, and that's what real estate was. And it's really goes way beyond that. It's you know, before, during, after the sale, we try to be there for our clients, and it's more of a relationship for us than it is a client. So yeah, I try to be the best so I can be the shining example for all the new agents coming in to the industry.
What makes us different than all the other realtors? I don't know. I mean,
we're identical twins.
We're identical twins.
That helps.
It does kind of help.
Yeah.
We do have some really cool, fun twin tricks that we can pull out at parties.
That's true.
So we're pretty entertaining.
Yeah.
I think.
We do throw a pretty good party.
We do throw a pretty good party.
Yeah.
In all seriousness, though, and Seth said this, for us, it really is about the service before, during, and after the sale. And it's really the after the sale service that comes into play. We both have seen this so many times where an agent will sell a house and then they get a call from their client. And for whatever reason, they're too nervous to answer the phone. Because most of the time, if your client's calling you after the sale, there's a problem. There's usually a problem with the house. And a lot of people don't want to put themselves in that situation, right? We probably understand that. But for me, that is where I get to shine. That is where I get to continue my service for my clients. For me, I look at myself and Seth in our team, we all look at ourselves as real estate advisors. We want you to call us whenever you got a problem or whenever you're thinking about a home renovation. We also like to be the guy, we jokingly say that we're kind of like your own little Angie's List. Yeah. Or we jokingly say, we come with the house, right? Because after the sale, we want you to call us for any of your needs. We will tell you, put it on the insurance or use the home warranty that we got for you. Or here's a good contractor. Or sometimes we jokingly say, if you get a 6-pack of beer, we'll come over and fix it for you. Seth and I were in the construction business for 13 years before we got into real estate. So for us, it's really about that service before, during, and after the sale. And it's that after, which is really the biggest part of it.
Yeah. Man, that was really good. That was good. I think what sets us apart is really our background. We didn't go to college. Right out of high school, we had a band going, and so we pursued our music career, which gave us a really interesting perspective on life and people. We spent a lot of time in bars, hanging out with people, and there's a lot of different types of people you can meet in bars. So we got really good with dealing with different types of people, situations. Like Adam said, we were in construction for a long time. So I think with our background and just home remodeling, being a home inspector, I feel like we know homes better than anybody else that I know. I think that really sets us apart from everybody else. And we do have a guy for everything. We literally have a contractor for everything, contractors that we've used, that we work with all the time. So yeah, we're kind of that full service team, I feel like.
Yeah, I think we say this a lot, that we're here to help you not just with real estate, but with real life. And they kind of go hand in hand. And so, we don't just have a contractor for anything, but we have somebody for anything that you need. If you just had a baby and you need a photographer, we got photographers. If you need an attorney for whatever, we got attorneys.
If you need a life coach, we've got life coaches.
So it's always beyond the real estate side of things for us. It's about helping people in real life. We jokingly say this. We joke a lot, right?
We do.
That we are selfishly here looking out, and anybody that's been in one of our consultations will hear this, that we're selfishly looking out for your best interest. We will never say, hey, Joe, I know that this house backs up to the highway and faces the prison, but you gotta buy it. It's such a good deal. It's priced so well, right? Because we hope that at the end of this, that we're friends, right? We become friends with our clients, and we do with a lot of them. And that we always hope that if they ever go to sell their house down the road, that they come to us to sell the house. So if we put them in a house that we can't sell down the road, we're not doing ourselves any good. So we are always looking out for your best interests, but to prove it selfishly, and everybody kind of knows it's all about the business sometimes, we're setting ourselves up for success too, and you for success. So that's where we're selfishly looking out for you. I think what people can really expect right out the gate with us is somebody that's going to come in and listen. And really just listen to not just what your real estate needs are, but what your life needs are. I say that, and Seth says this, we can go as fast or as slow as you want to go. We can get you into the house tomorrow if that's what you really need. But what we like to do, if we can, if we've got the time, is to sit down and really put together a game plan. A game plan that takes a lot of the stress and anxiety out of this. Nobody likes change. Nobody likes to move, right?
Yeah.
Everybody likes the end result of it, but there's a lot of pain that goes into making a move, and we understand that, right? So when we come in, what you can expect is for us to ask a lot of questions and do a lot of listening. And Seth and I both, in all of our appointments, we take notes. We've got a piece of paper there, and we're writing down things so that we can be the professionals it's going to help you come up with a good game plan. I jokingly say this, that, we do look at what we do similar to what a doctor does. We're not just going to walk in. If you come to our office, we're not going to walk into the waiting room and just say, okay, let's start cutting, right? No, we bring you back to our office. We have a consultation. We ask a lot of questions, come up with a game plan, and then we schedule, the routine or whatever we've got going on. We look at a lot of this like a doctor would. So we're very kind of strategic in how we put together a game plan. I think a lot of agents out there say go get pre-approved, and then they run them through a bunch of houses and they slap a legally binding document in front of them, and that person has no idea what they're doing. Seth and I don't like to do that. Coming from the music business, that's what they do in the music business. You show up to the studio, you get sound checked, and they slap a 2-inch thick contract in front of you, expect to sign on the bottom line, and that's just not, if anybody remembers VH1 and all the horror stories with musicians.
Behind the music.
We take a lot of that, into our real estate practice. We don't want people to feel like there's some sort of a catch or a trick, or feel like there's a bunch of unknowns. We want everybody to feel really comfortable about this process, because there's a lot to it. So that's kind of our approach. Expect for us to take our time with you, and it really help you kind of come up with a good game plan. But like we said, we can go as fast or as slow as you want to go. We work for you.
Yeah. I think what people can expect when they hire us is brutal honesty. I'm not sure if there's some other agents out there that kind of do what we do. But we have both talked people out of buying houses. We tell this to our clients up front. One thing that we really try to do is set that expectation up front. But we'll tell them that, we're straight shooters, and we're going to be honest, and sometimes brutally honest. I've been in homes before, walking through and just seeing some things that they may not have seen, and go, guys, look, this is a great home, but expect to put $50,000 into it. And honestly, I don't know if that's the situation you want to be in. And, I won't really tell them don't buy this house, but we'll have a good conversation about it and see if it actually makes sense for them. So I think people can expect for us to be upfront with them, honest. And then we do a ton of due diligence when it comes to what people are looking for in a home. We'll look at the neighborhoods and the surrounding areas. We have a really good idea of what's going on in our city and the towns that are people wanting to be in. And so we can kind of keep an eye on, if somebody really wants to be an investment, we can kind of keep an eye on an area and say, hey, this is coming up, or this area is not doing as well as some of these other areas around here. So if investment is what you're shooting for, maybe we go this route. So we spend a lot of time really researching homes and kind of finding out what the people are really looking for in a home. So, and like Adam said, in their life, so we can kind of guide them in the right direction.
I also think the construction background is huge. There's no better person to go look at houses with than Seth. I'm probably the next best guy. But Seth, with his background and his knowledge, he will walk through, he could tell you what the age of a roof is. It is really hard to tell.
Get pretty close.
It's really hard to tell the age of a roof, especially if it's a dimensional shingle and they've got 25 to 30 years of life. Is that a 10-year-old roof, or is that a 20-year-old roof? And Seth can get pretty darn close to it. And Seth likes to point out all that stuff. And I do the same thing. So that's where our brutal honesty comes in. We don't want to turn you off on a house that you really, really like, but we're going to point out that brick foundation has got some issues. That should be a huge thing that's on your mind when you're making this decision.
We know exactly what's going to happen in the next 12 months.
We've got a crystal ball. And we're all going to be rich and famous in about, what did you say, 12 months?
12 months, yeah.
We can't predict 12 months out. No. Maybe 6 months out. That's the question, right?
Yeah, what's going to happen in 12 months to the market?
Even the best economists in the world can't really go more than about 2 years out. And really not even really about 12 months out. So this is part of our job as being real estate advisors, is we are constantly studying the market, trying to get ahead of things and see where things are going. Interest rates have been all over the place. That's the big talk, right? What's going to happen with interest rates? I follow the Fed. We follow all the economists at NAR, the Realtor Association. We listen to Case Shiller and KCM and all the resources that are out there. I think that interest rates are going to go down. I like to be pretty bold in what I predict. So I would bet money that interest rates are going to go down. To what level? I'm not sure. I think a couple things are going to happen in the next 12 months. Interest rates will tick down a little bit, but also the buyers out there are going to get really comfortable with interest rates being where they're at. I think it's been a huge shock that they're where they are now when they were in the 3s or lower for 10 years, which is unheard of. That's never going to come back. We just got to get used to this kind of a new normal. One thing that I know 100% is that the buyer demand is going to be through the roof over the next 5 years. The millennials are starting to come in and buy, and everybody's been predicting the millennials coming in these big waves and buying. Well, a lot of them got into a pretty good amount of college debt, right? With all the things that have happened in the last couple of years, that college debt's starting to tame down. The millennials are starting to come in and buy, and the millennials is the biggest buying demographic that we've ever seen. The baby boomers, that's the second biggest demographic that we've ever seen. And that fueled the real estate industry for 30 something years. Mm-hmm. And they're all getting ready right now to start retiring and taking a lot of that money and going and buying single story homes, right? So single story homes are getting really, really competitive. And you look at a lot of neighborhoods right now, single story homes, even if they've got less square feet, are selling for more money than 2-story homes because of the demand of it. You got two huge buying demographics fighting for it. So I think that the advice that we like to give people right now is go get your hands on real estate right now, because it's not going to get any cheaper. And, Barbara Corcoran is one of the people that I follow. She's got a great line, and she says, pick your poison, folks. If it's interest rates that you don't like and you want to wait, then just expect when interest rates go down, all the buyers flooding into the market and driving the price back up. So you're going to stick with a higher price. Or you go buy right now and just deal with the high interest rate and hope that they do go down and you can refinance and take advantage at that point. So kind of pick your poison. But I do think that there's a saying that I heard when I first got into real estate that has stuck with me. And this is the best thing for anybody to keep in their mind if you're thinking about real estate, buying and investing, is there's one thing that they don't make anything else. They don't make any more of this. If you want to buy something that's super valuable, buy something they don't make any more of. And what's the one thing they're guaranteed never to make any more of? Land. They're not going to make any more.
Unless we start building on the moon, then
that could happen.
That could happen.
What did you see the other day? The folding houses?
Oh yeah, boxable.
Boxable.
Yeah, they'll just plop a house up in a day right on your land.
There's going to be some trends there. We're already seeing 3D printed houses. With the cost of building materials shooting up. I think that could be a huge trend coming up in the next couple of years. It's just different styles, different construction materials.
Well, I think if you drive around the city right now, you'll see actually a lot of construction going on. They're fixing the roads at a very slow pace, but they are fixing the roads. The highway's getting better downtown, and there's a ton of construction going on. Most of the construction we're seeing are condos, multifamily units, multiple units in a building, which tells me there's going to be a lot of people moving to this city. There's a lot of good stuff going on. Businesses are still hiring. There's tons of jobs available in the Indianapolis area. So I think, one, there's going to be a lot more buyers out there. Competition is going to get tougher, buyers in certain price ranges, but for homeowners, I think the values are going to stay steady, if not going up a little bit, and prices are going to continue to climb within the next 12 months.
One other thing that I would say regarding the trends is that affordability isn't really getting any better, and I don't think it's going to change very much. And I'm talking about affordability across all markets. And I would encourage everybody that's thinking about doing something with their money to lean towards real estate over the next several years. I know Bitcoin and Ethereum and all, there's so many ways that you can put your money into something that's going to grow. Think about real estate. And that it's not just an investment idea. There is a huge thing happening. I'm not going to say it's a problem. There's institutional buyers that are still buying. And that's going to be a trend that we're going to continue to see. Institutional buyers, these big corporations that are coming in and trying to buy up entire neighborhoods and turning them into rental neighborhoods. So I know that there's an idea out there of hating the man, right? And the guy that's buying up all the houses in the neighborhood. Well, think about this. Some of those people buying those houses are average Joes like us. Mm-hmm. They're not millionaires. They're just trying to leverage the money that they've got. And if you look at putting your money into the safest place right now, it's real estate. And so if you are thinking about doing anything with your money, go figure out how to buy some more real estate and buy as much of it as you can before all these other big corporate buyers come in and start buying real estate. Because if they continue to buy, we will become a nation of renters. And this will be the biggest divide we've ever seen from the 1% to the rest. And we can fight that with real estate. So borrow the money from your parents, go refinance your current house, go buy some more real estate. Because this is what's going to keep the American dream alive, in my opinion, is owning more real estate, leveraging that and seeing your money grow and trying to cut down some of these big corporate buyers that are coming in and trying to change our country to a renter society. Mm-hmm. So you pull out this thing and you go to Google and then type in Catron Property Group. And Catron is like patron of a restaurant, but with a C. Yep. C-A-T-R-O-N. We're on all the stuff that's out there. We've got our own website, our company, FC Tucker. You can find us on there. Instagram.
We're not on TikTok, though.
We're not on TikTok. You're not going to find us
We're
there. A little bit old school.
Yeah.
YouTube, we've got a lot of great content on YouTube. I think our Facebook has probably got a lot of good tips and tricks on it. Instagram, please like us on Instagram. We're trying to build up some followers there. We're going to plug in all of our information at the bottom of this if you need it. And we are 7 days a week. We are full-time real estate agents. We've got a full-time team with us. So you can reach out to us at any time. And like we say, we can go as fast or as slow as you want to go. Just give us a shout and we can set up a time to chat and put together a good game plan for you. Mm-hmm.